Hey guys, it's Sasha, and I'm here today with my September wrap-up. I read 14 books in the month of September. Well, I would say 13, because the first one I'm going to show you I have been reading for a super long time, and I just finished it in September, so... But, and that was a good month for me. It was better than August. In August I only read 9 books, but I was also away on vacation, so I didn't bring a lot of books to read, and I just read them very slowly. So let's get started. The first book is The Complete and Unabridged Works of Edgar Allan Poe, and I finished this in September. It's like 1,178 pages long, and I read this for my Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I love his stories, his poems. He's such a good author and poet. I just love his stuff. You should go if you haven't read any of his stuff, you need to go check some of his stuff out. The next book I read, oh crap, I totally forgot about those. Technically I read 16 books in August because I didn't count the one ebook I read and then the one book I borrowed from my friend and I gave them back. I was just counting the books I was holding in my hand. So technically I read 16. So the next book I read was Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I read that for a Pop Sugar Reading Challenge 2. Persuasion is about a woman who's rejected her lover, and they were gonna get married, and then they break up their relationship, and he goes away for like 10 years or so, and he comes back and they rekindle their love, and so there's that. Then the next book I read after that was Paper Towns by John Green, and that is about a boy, Quentin, or I think I'm just going to call him Q because I know that was his nickname, Q, and he is in love with his next door neighbor, Margot, and when she disappears he goes off to find her, and in that I believe finds himself or something like that. And then after Paper Towns I read Ferris by Marissa Myers. Ferris is about Queen Lavonia's story. If you haven't read any of the Lunar Chronicles books, I do believe you should go check them out because they're awesome.
People.
This is my sister.
Yes, I have her sister, and it's funny. So, bye. Have a great day.
Back to the video. Now, if this is basically telling Queen Lavonia's background story, how she became queen, her lost love, all those wonderful things. She's really messed up. Next book I read after that was The Heir by Kiera Cass, and this is about America and Maxton's daughter and her selection, and right now she's like fighting the selection. She doesn't really want to do it, but her dad is sort of making her story in the selection. I won't go into any more details besides that. The next book I read after that was a graphic novel, Avatar, The Last Airbenders, The Lost Adventures, and this is by a bunch of different authors, but I do love Avatar, The Last Airbender TV show, and so I just bought this, plus to go with my Goodreads, so it was all good. Next book I read was The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. And this is basically about Bane's different adventures, and if you want to know more about him, because I know a lot of people love him in the series, so yeah. The book I read was Eternity in Their Hearts by Dawn Richardson. Richardson gives examples of the ways people have exhibited in their history terms and concepts that have not prepared them for the gospel, so this is like type book. That's Soraya. She just wants to stay in the room and watch me now. So now she's in the video. Okay.
Hi now. Hi.
Next book I read was Sanduk, Princess of the Moon and Stars by Sherry Holdman, and this is a book in the Royal Diary series, and the Royal Diary series highlight different princesses throughout the world, and so this is about a real person, but this is like a middle grade book, but I've been collecting these for a long time now, and I'm finally finished with the collection, and I do love these books so much, and yeah. The book I read was Anna Khanna, Golden Flower of Haiti, and this is by Ed Witch. Dan Cat, or however you pronounce his name, or her name. But anyway, this is the next book in the Royal Diaries series. The next book I read was Elizabeth, the Princess Bride by Barry Denenberg. This is the last book in the Royal Diaries series that I read, and the last book that I collected, and my collection is finally finished. This is Casanova, I pronounced the name, Prisoner of Heaven by Catherine Lasky, and it was a good book. Rated this 4 stars, so yeah. The next book I read was The Line in the Sand, a diary of Lucinda Lawrence, and this is by Sherry Garland. Yay, she finally left. And this is a diary basically about a girl in the time of the Alamo, and is basically telling it through her point of view and whatnot, so it's all good. Of the Mist. It's the first book in These Highland Hills, and I was reading this for Slay That series. Is about 2 feuding clans, and the girl from the one feuding clan has to end up marrying the chief from the other feuding clan, and then they end up together, and it's about how they progress and how their life goes. And the man from the clan, he has a traitor in his mix and someone who's trying to take him down, and so they both have to figure out who is the traitor. And the book I read was Wings of Morning, which is the second book in These Highland Hills, and this is about Regan and Ian. And Regan loses her memory, and somebody on Ian's land finds her and takes her to him because he is like second in command under the Campbell, and which they nurse her back to health, and she slowly regains her memory, and then she finds out a whole bunch of different things, and it's about her coming to terms with her memory, and Ian coming to terms with his love for her and her love for him. Final book I read in September was A Fire Within, and this is about Caitlin and Dorrich. And Caitlin is the Campbell's sister, and Dorrich is a cast out from his own clan, but he ends up going on the Campbell's land to rescue his brother, and it just takes them on a wild ride, and eventually Caitlin and Dorrich fall in love, and that's all I'm going to say about this book. Hope you enjoyed this video, and my little sister due in October TBR, but I usually pick my books at random however I feel. I don't plan ahead. Get to check out all my other videos, so I'll see y'all later. Bye.